All right, welcome everyone. Tonight's Nature Healing Happy Quarter, we are going to spend with the Mycelium, especially in honor of Teacher Way's first US retreat that just concluded on Sunday. And as I was sitting with the powerful collective consciousness field, I was reminded of the power of the mycelium and how they connect so potently beneath the Earth's surface. And I thought we would revisit them. We spent some time with them, about a year ago. So I don't know, it seemed fitting to join with that information again and just honor it and honor the beautiful retreat space and allow it to continue integrating and processing and inviting whatever arises. So I have a short presentation to share. We'll have some photos, some basic information, and some songs. So I'll share my screen.
Do we want to do the 8-verse?
Yes, yes. Yes, we do. Thank you.
You're
Let me stop share. Okay, yes, I have them sitting right in front of me too. Okay, so to help prepare us to connect with this happy quarter, I will read Dr. Pong's 8 verses in English, and I invite us to find our Qigong posture. So feel your feet rooted to the earth, your sits bones grounding, and the tailbone lightly tucks, the spine straightens, the chin gently tucks, and the crown of the head lifts up to the heaven. You can roll and relax the shoulders, inviting the arms to soften and allow the gaze to go a little bit fuzzy, just relaxing everything that can relax. Head touches sky, feet stand on earth. Body relaxes and the mind expands. Be respectful and quiet. Mind is clear and appearance is humble. No distracting thoughts. Mind expands into infinite space. Feel the mind shining into the body deeply and inwardly. Entire body is harmonized with qi. Harmonized with qi. Harmonized with qi. In this peaceful awareness of mingjue, I will share my screen, and I invite us all to bring our mingjue awareness to the information, just softening the mind, softening our senses, and letting the words, the photos, the music just wash through us, not fixing anywhere, just flowing gently and softly. Right. So mycelium are part of the mushroom life cycle, which is part of the fungi. And fungi exist almost everywhere moisture is present and first appeared on land about 1,300 million years ago. And if you look at this simple illustration of the mushroom life cycle, you'll see the mushroom, the fruiting body, and you'll see the spores, the spore germination, and then we have the mycelium, which is where we will spend a little bit of time now. Just absorb this photo. Letting the eyes soften as you bring it in. Mycelium is a network of long branching threads or hyphae hidden beneath the forest floor, really beneath all of Earth's surface. And collectively, these hyphae or threads assemble to create the complex structure of mycelium, which is largely microscopic or invisible to the unassisted eye. So it's present always, and we may or may not see it with our senses. Here are 3 different examples of mycelium. And this network of mycelium is compacted into a tiny area with at least 200 kilometers or about 124 miles of hyphae, or those little tiny threads that we see here, in every kilogram or 2.2 pounds of soil. And they can cover hundreds or even thousands of miles when stretched out. So they're so compacted, and it's just such a vast, vast network of these tiny little threads. And they grow one cell at a time while branching in all directions, creating more connections than our brain's neural pathways. And like our brains, the mycelial network uses electrical impulses and electrolytes. Here's a beautiful photo showing the mycelium connecting in with tree roots. Mycelium is a communication network, symbiotically working with plants, trees, and their shared ecosystem, supplying and distributing water and nutrients to all neighboring life. Trees can learn, remember, nurse one another, and even keep long dead stumps alive by sending electrical signals through the underground fungal network. And this is just a tiny snapshot of some of that happening, but it's going on all the time, all around us. And unlike other living organisms, mycelium breaks down food sources before ingesting the nutrients. So they break them down and then they have access to the nutrients. And through this processing, mycelium eliminates non-biodegradables like hydrocarbons, plastics, unrefined oil, or even nuclear waste, turning what would be considered toxic and unusable substances into nourishment for all neighboring life. So they are really powerful examples of Huanhua, that merging and transforming, especially with things that we don't tend to think of as easy to merge and transform with. And they do it, and it provides benefit for everything. So the power of that, I want to just really connect here with this image of the mycelium on a log and feeling the transformation in all of those little threads branching out. In this transformation, the mycelium, and through their electrical capabilities to transport information, they end up supporting the ecosystem in its entirety. And to help us connect with and visualize that support, there is a beautiful song and video here. It's called Brilliant Mycelium by Beautiful Chorus, and it shows images of mycelium in motion. And I invite you to just connect in and decide what feels good. You may want to gently move or soften the eyes and let the images flow through. Just see what feels good, and it may change throughout the song. Also, if it's garbled, please let me know.
Share our wisdom. Have you vision? Are you listening? Can you feel us? Share our wisdom. We're beneath your surface, an underground universe thriving, fully alive, sensitive, resilient. We're everywhere, we're brilliant. Mycelium, we dive, go deeper, branch out, sustain life. Feel your every step. We carry nutrients, sentient and nourishing. We're elegant and flourishing. Have you vision? Are you listening? Can you feel us? Share our wisdom. Have you vision? Are you listening? Can you feel us? Share our wisdom. Have you vision? Are you listening? Can you feel us? Share our wisdom. Share our Have you vision? Have you Are you listening? Are you listening? Can you feel us? Feel us? Share our wisdom. Share our wisdom. Share our wisdom. Can you hear us? Share our wisdom. 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 Share our wisdom.
Ah, I love that song. It gets caught in my head a lot, and Alex's too. So it's a joy to share it. So with that beautiful visual and the words, we spent time with the mycelium. And in this last part of tonight's presentation, I want to connect with something that Megan shared with me last year, and it's so beautiful. It's called Women Gathering Mushrooms, and it is a 1980s recording of the Babenzel women gathering mushrooms in the rainforests of the Central African Republic, the Congo. And it's here's a quote from Merlin Sheldrake's Entangled Life, and it gives us a really beautiful overview of the women gathering mushrooms and mycelium. So we get to see this Tianren Heiyi state of humans with nature merging. So I'll read this quote, and I invite us to just relax into the words, and after the quote, I'll move right into the recording of the women gathering mushrooms. So relax yourself into the earth and lifting into the chi universe. As they wander around collecting mushrooms, their steps tracing the underground form of a mycelial network, the women sing amid the sounds of the animals in the forest. Each woman sings a different melody. Each voice tells a different musical story. Many melodies intertwine without ceasing to be many. Voices flow around other voices, twisting into and beside one another. Women gathering mushrooms is an example of musical polyphony. Polyphony is singing more than one part, or telling more than one story at the same time. Unlike the harmonies in a barbershop quartet, the voices of the women never weld into a unified front. No voice surrenders its individual identity. nor does any one voice steal the show. Mycelium is polyphony in bodily form. There is no main voice. There is no lead tune. There is no central planning. Nonetheless, a form emerges. Is the end of the mycelium happy quarter share. And I thank you all for sharing it. It's such a powerful, it's just powerful. So thank you. And I invite anyone's voices that want to join the join the song. Anything that wants to be shared.
Thank you, Elizabeth. It's so interesting, but I know not a coincidence that so much music needed to be used for us to kind of get into the reference framework of mycelium. Because really, witnessing this information from mingjue, it really feels like receiving information about this vast, different intelligence that we don't normally have a lot of connection to. And that it's so how to explain that reference framework to us in human reference frameworks. And yeah, no mistake that a lot of music is needed. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel the exact same way. It really embodies once the music comes on. It's like, okay, now I have an opportunity to connect beyond my senses. Yeah. Thank you.
And yeah, you're in it, another layer of just nature healing in general strikes me. Like we're just every time connecting to different reference frameworks. Mingjue plays reference frame, whatever the happy quarter guest is. So
Yeah.
anyway, fascinating. Thank you. I want to hear from Suan about the music, if she's ready to share.
This transported me to such a deep place. And having studied polyphony and played polyphony and that style of music as one of many styles, it's one of my favorites, and it is so rich, and it really, I mean, when Megan was speaking, I was thinking, this is what quantum entanglement feels like. It's like going through my body in different ways, and I could just feel this mushroom world. It was so beautiful, Elizabeth. Thanks for finding that. It's really exquisite. It's some of the most beautiful polyphony I've ever heard, because it sounded, and I don't know if this is true, but it sounded like these women were just singing from their baby hearts, and it was all improvised, and so it was all organic, like the mycelium world. That's how it felt to me. And it doesn't matter if it wasn't improvised, it felt like that to me. And that means they embodied the improvisation that the mycelium have in every moment. It's just, anyhow, thank you so much. I'm going to be revisiting this one often. And that book also, you're recording this so I can go see, I have to get this book. Just,
I'll send it to you, Swan.
magnificent.
We finished, so I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's my understanding too, and Megan, you can help me, but my understanding is it is all improvised. That's just the natural song that arises from women gathering mushrooms. So yeah, that's part of that beauty, the organic, and the one becoming many, and the many being one, all in one moment organically. Yeah, thank you, Suwan.
I'll just say, as a mushroom gatherer, it doesn't really work. It doesn't work so well unless you're in mingjue state. Yeah, they just don't appear. You got to have that observer. You got to be in observer state. If you're like, I'm gonna find a bolete, yeah, no, never gonna find one. Never gonna happen. So, yeah.
I'd
For
love to share
me.
some too. This presentation, and we'd done it once before about a year ago or whatnot, but I love it so much. And before I didn't know anything about mycelium, and I think we saw a documentary on it around the same time. I think it's on Netflix or something. But man, it really opened my mind. And I was telling Elizabeth that I have this philosopher that I follow and read a lot of his work, modern day philosopher writer, Charles Eisenstein, and he defines a miracle as information that visits us from outside of sort of that narrow band, that narrow spectrum that we call our reality is actually pretty limiting and sort of tightly defined, like what we call our culture or whatever, is it occupies a very narrow band of reality, and we're visited by something outside of that. And that's what this mycelium is to me. It's like it's so it points to possibilities in like a whole network, a whole life system that's like, not in our present day to day. And it's been such a gift, and it's really like I feel like in the last year or so, it's really kind of expanded my like consciousness of nature, like generally, it's just been a really amazing year. And I keep thinking about this song. And when she said she wanted to revisit this presentation, I was like, yes, that's awesome. Please do. And so it was still just as awesome as last time, maybe even more so this time around. But anyway, that was my sharing. So
Thank you. Allah. Allah.
Allah.
Mm.
For me, as a non-mushroom hunter, in fact, being scared of mushrooms because I'm sure I would get the one that was poison, and with the introduction you had given, Elizabeth, it felt like the visual and auditory representation of the world consciousness community. That's kind of what I was thinking about. And there was a time when Gretel did the chi field setting, and it was like you could feel her weaving those threads in there, and it was just tangible. Only I couldn't find any words for it. And this was like being there, like seeing the audio and the visual representation of our energy as a community, reaching out, electrically touching other people, sharing with the trees. Just it was a whole different kind of miracle. So thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Allah. I feel what you're saying, and I feel it too, because in our practice we transform things that are very difficult, things that are maybe considered, I don't know, dangerous or toxic, just like the mycelium. They take those things and they turn them into nutrients, just like we do with our practice. We take what is very challenging, sometimes very uncomfortable, and merge and transform into something beautiful and nourishing and sustaining. Just like the mycelium do all around us. So it does echo strongly with our practice. Thank you. Yeah, Allah.
It gave me a new meaning for rest and digest. And when we're resting and digesting, we're doing the same work as the mycelium. And that's what you were talking about, that in that process, we can turn toxic emotions or toxins in the body or anything toxic, spiritual, whatever, thoughts into food for the baby heart and the soul. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, anything. Yeah. Food for the baby heart, food for the soul. Thank you, Suhan. Allah. Allah.
I couldn't help but imagine, the scene. I was hoping it would be visual, but it wasn't. And so I went inside and I was just visualizing the women moving through that forest, and their sound kind of ebbed and flowed as they were moving around. And I thought it was really, like Suan was saying, is really one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. And I loved the song before that also. But I was thinking I always have to think why, why do they sing when they go into the forest? What is the purpose of that? And who was the first person to decide, gosh, let's sing a song while we're out in the forest. Let's all sing a song at the same time. Let's sing a song together, but not really together. And why did they do that? And my mind came up with this idea that they're telling the forest that we are here and we are hunting, but we mean you no harm. And that may have created safety for them to tell all the snakes and the scorpions and the leopards and the, whatever, there's a lot of things in the jungle. And telling them, we mean you no harm, and giving them a song as they move probably completely fearlessly through that space. And then the other thing that occurred to me was that how gentle and peaceful that whole thing was, as opposed to the men going in. I don't have anything against the men, and this is a necessary feature of society, but when the men go in, they're not singing these gentle songs, I'm pretty sure. They're going in very quietly with, something to go hunt with, and bringing back food for the tribe, but, you're on a different wavelength, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I loved it. I appreciate you sharing that with us. I hope, I would love to listen to those songs all the time.
They're beautiful. Thank you, Rhonda. I'm touched by that idea of their singing as an offering, like an awareness and an offering. It's like we're here, we're looking for mushrooms, their presence, like offering this presence and this gift as they're gathering, as they're collecting. And that's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
I also felt the entrainment with the birds and all of the insects and the other natural sounds. I felt like they were part of the polyphony also. And that they were hearing that, and their songs were like reflections of all the creatures that were also always there, that they were entering into the space of these creatures and singing with them and having conversations with them. So that's another thing that came up for me.
Yeah, it captures that polyphony as well, the individual and the collective, the individual and the oneness with the birds and the wind and all of the sounds of the forest. Yeah, all of the individuals gathering and collecting, and in that offering, the birds and the trees and the humans' voices forming that emergence, that oneness. Yeah, thank you so much.
The comment about the quantum entanglement really struck me. It made me think of like as above, so below. And also the idea of gathering with song. There was a Native American elder that I studied with. He's passed away now, but he was telling a story about gathering sacred plants for ceremony. And he said the same thing. If you knew the songs, the plants would appear for you. But if you didn't know the songs, you couldn't ever find them. And I was also thinking about what Teacher Wei said near the start of the retreat about so often our illnesses or whatever brings us to Qigong is our real self's way of sending us a signal that something is off so that we can begin to explore what it is. And he specifically mentioned being out of sync with the natural rhythm. And I thought, wow, a few years ago, I didn't even know what it meant to be in sync with the natural rhythm. It's not part of our culture. At least it wasn't mine growing up. And I didn't have a concept for sacred reciprocity. But about maybe about 5 or 6 weeks ago, I started kind of trying to reconnect with the mycelium and really all of the second dimension, you know, from the earth, that area from the earth down until you get to the core. Because my health crisis that I had a few years ago was related to fungus and mold in my lungs and other parts of my body, and I had to avoid them at all costs. I became, you know, really sensitive to that stimuli. And so I've just been in my mind connecting to the mycelium, to the fungi and the bacteria and the radiation and the minerals and crystals, everything like in the earth as part of a way of just like embracing those again without, you know, literally embracing them yet. So this really is helping me also. Thank you.
That's a beautiful share, connecting through. And we worked with Earth last time we met. So we went through all the layers of the Earth to the core.
Yeah.
So it feels perfect to have mycelium right now, right beneath the Earth's surface, all over, anywhere there's moisture, which is, you know, most places. So yeah, it's a vast network for us all to connect to together, especially in this shared collective consciousness field, and to bring that into the collective consciousness field of mycelium and just our shared presence as beings on the earth. Yeah, thank you. It's a beautiful share. Yeah. Hello. Well, unless there's any other spoken words that want to come out, we can share this beautiful space together in our consciousness field setting. All right. So, bringing all of this information, all of these lovely shares, and our connection to each other, to the earth, to our universe, and bringing that in as we find a comfortable posture, sitting, standing, or laying down, whatever feels good in this moment. And breathe into that spot, whatever you choose. Giving our deep gratitude for our time together, for all of the wisdom, all of the sharing, and the vast field of the recent retreat. So all of it. And letting that gratitude help us connect into the earth. Feeling the bottoms of our feet flowing into the earth's surface. And through the mycelium, and the minerals, all that's present in the earth's crust. And sinking down. Feeling rooted and light at the same time. Grounded and nourished by our connection to the earth. And allowing that groundedness to flow up through the bottoms of the feet, bringing healing and nourishment into every cell of the body. And feeling the spine straighten with that nourishment. And the crown of the head opening to the chi of the universe. And feeling that universe chi flow in through the open crown of the head, merging with earth chi. And allowing them to merge and transform with health and thriving through every part of the body. And relaxing to the seen and the unseen, the visible and the invisible. As our awareness flows into the center of the head, smiling at our mingjue, our beautiful observer observing itself in the center of the head. And feeling that observation open from the center, radiating out in all directions into the eyes, feeling them relax, and the nose, the mouth, and the jaw, and the ears. The entire head inner space, the inner space of the sense organs, dissolving. Dissolving into the empty space of the universe. And mingjue flows into the throat and neck, allowing that peaceful awareness to fill all the spaces of the throat and neck as mingjue observes. And with that observation, the throat and neck dissolve and merge into the visible, the invisible of the Qi universe. And mingjue moves into the shoulders, the shoulder blades, observing any stress, any weight carried on the shoulders. Observing it relax and dissolve, dissolving into the Qi universe. All burdens dissolving. And mingjue observes the arms, the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, and the hands. The inner space of the arms, relaxing and dissolving into the Qi universe. Mingjue observes the chest, the lungs, the breasts, and our baby hearts. Mingjue observes all our baby hearts, branching out in all directions, connecting, merging and transforming, resting and digesting. In the inner space of the lungs, the breasts, and the heart dissolve, dissolving into the universe. Our mingjue moves into the abdomen, observing all the organs, all the spaces, the liver, the gallbladder, the spleen, the pancreas, the stomach, the intestines, small and large, the kidneys, the adrenals, the bladder, and all the reproductive organs. Observing the song of our organs individually and collectively, harmonious and healthy. And feeling the song of the inner space of all the organs opening and dissolving, dissolving into the visible, into the invisible, merging and transforming with the chi of the universe. Mingjue observes the spine, the beautiful, healthy, supple spine. The upper spine, the middle, the lower, and the tailbone. And connecting with the central nervous system, and branching out to the peripheral nervous system, healthy, filled with connection. And observing the inner space of the spine, the central nervous system, the peripheral, dissolving, dissolving into the chi universe. Mingjue observes the hips, the pelvis, the legs, thighs, knees, shins and calves, ankles and feet. Feeling our own invisible threads flowing from the bottoms of the feet deep into the earth. Remembering that connection with the earth's surface, and that connection flowing down through the earth's surface, through all the layers, merging, transforming, composting and nourishing. And in that compost, in that nourishment, feeling the inside of the lower body dissolving, dissolving into the invisible, into the chi of the universe. Mingjue observes the entire Qi body. Brilliant. Beautiful. And collectively dissolving into the Qi universe, into our collective consciousness field, merging and transforming with each other, our friends, our family, our communities, our teachers, Teacher Wei, Dr. Pong, all teachers, all healers, all sages, all beings. And as we merge, transform, we are Mingjue love, Mingjue peace, Mingjue joy, Mingjue trust, Mingjue playfulness, and Mingjue gratitude. And we feel our entirety, this mantra, opening and dissolving into the visible and the invisible of the universe. And we'll sit in silence for just about a minute. Gently, we check in and see if you'd like to stay in this collective field, practicing and resting and allowing yourself to just drift and end the practice when you're ready. Otherwise, You can invite your senses back into the body, listening to any sounds around you, noticing the songs of your environment, feeling any air movement on the skin, and just generally noticing the body, feeling the surface beneath you. Any music of dogs or anything. Allow any soft movement into the spine, the arms, feeling the aliveness of the body, alive and connected. And stack the hands palm over palm at the navel or duchi. Feeling the lower dantian, the low belly. Taking a few deep breaths. Allowing all of the beautiful sharing to bring nourishment and connection into this moment and rippling out into the moments ahead. Thank you. And haula. Allowing the eyes to open when they're ready. Thank you, everyone. Haula. Wish you all a beautiful night.
Which one of the dogs barked, Elizabeth?
It was Kaya, the bigger. You're sweet
It
girl.
was so nice, Kaya. Thank you. Because I knew what that meant.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, it was Kaya. It was perfect because I was noticing the song of our environment, and she's part of the song of the environment. Yeah, thank you, Angie. And the little one, she's up now, but she was falling asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back down again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you,
That's
guys.
a gift. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
Thank
That
you.
was beautiful. Thank you.
Lovely,
was-
lovely evening.
Yes.
Really transported by your meditation and the peepers singing in a huge chorus in the swamp that's down below me, and it was it's like a continuation of the mycelium piece somehow. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Suan. Our window is wide open and peepers and birds and the sun is setting. So it's that nighttime chorus, the chorus of twilight. Yeah. Yeah. Here as well. It was flowing in with the, yeah, thank you.
More miracles.
It's
More-
very yin. It's pitch black. So, yeah.
What a gift.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll be back next week. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Haula.
Allah, please
Allah.
love.